Houston Real Estate Radio starts right now.
Welcome back. You're listening to Houston Real Estate Radio this Sunday afternoon. I'm Shannon Register, and I have Michael Garfield on the show with me, which is quite a change because, on Friday afternoons, I am on his show, and so I've got him on our show today here on Houston Real Estate Radio. He is the high-tech Texan. So welcome to the show, my friend.
I like this. I like being on the other end of this microphone. I'm going to sit back, and you be the hostess with the mostest. I'll try to be the expert. This is odd, but I'm all over it.
It's funny. You have been known as the high-tech Texan for so long, and everybody just defers to you because, you're the man who's always got the new phones, the new technology. You know what's coming out. You're going to all these technology shows. You're all over it.
Yes, I thank you. It's the combination. It's hard work. It's a long time, as you know, also Shannon, to build a brand, build a company. And it's been about 12 or 13 years. I actually started out on television. Channel 2 had hired me to be their technology expert, and this is back in 2000, 2001 when the .com was going crazy before it really kind of died. And I realized that people needed to understand how quickly technology is changing. What are all these new products? And they don't have to be confusing. You don't really have to read all these instruction books, because I think technology really should at least attempt to make your life easier, be it your home life or your business life. And
right.
I don't use crazy terms, megabytes, gigabytes, or whatever. I just try to talk in plain old English that all Texans and everybody around the world can understand.
Keep it simple. That's right. And since we're talking about real estate, I want to take that technology and incorporate it into the real estate transaction, because a lot of consumers only buy real estate every 5 to 8 years, and so they probably don't realize how much technology's changed and how much easier the real estate transaction is now, and how much easier it is to get your fingertips on what you need very quickly.
Good gosh. I've been in the last house I bought was probably about 10 or 11 years ago, which seems, 8 dog years, if not even more when it comes to real estate. I did it the low-tech way. I think I remember going on HAR.com. It was just a shadow of what it is right now.
Oh, yeah.
Physically going to the house. I think I even took my first pictures of my house with film in my camera. Oh, my goodness, this is ancient. No, but you're right. There are so many tools that consumers can use to interact with realtors like you, Shannon, and it makes it so simple. This is everything from, paying, small fees in terms of lease applications, live video conferences, so you as a realtor maybe can walk around a home and, wirelessly in live video, show a prospective client a house, tips for, sex offenders and great schools, and just everything that you need to know, hey, is this the right house, the right neighborhood for me?
That's right. Everything right there on your one phone, everything right there on one phone. It's so amazing to me that you can just, I went on vacation. I just took my phone with me. I didn't even take camera. Just took my phone. It's all right there. So I love that about the technology. One of the things, let's talk first about realtors, because for realtors, our technology has changed with the interaction we have with consumers. And then as consumers, the technology has changed for what you can find on your own, like through apps. So let's first talk about the realtors. Some of the great things that have come out for realtors are, great safety measures with, apps that help realtors get in touch with 911 right away if there's a problem without having to make a phone call. There's great technology out there. Some of the things that I like that we can now do with consumers is not have a paper transaction. It can all be electronic.
I love that. And the fact is, sometimes you're not in the same place as the client, as the realtor, to physically sign those papers. And, I think, and this obviously goes back to from the legal side of it, too. I think legality, they're easing the laws where, okay, now, if you can digitally sign these things with digital ink. And,
right.
Just by, replying from your mailbox in many cases, that will legally bind you. There are a number of different apps out there that, you can, it's really called digital ink, where, you can sign PDFs. Some of them where you physically take your finger on your smartphone or on your tablet, and you could just sign your name. Some of them that you can just kind of almost give the, I guess your legal obligation to digitally transact it, and just by replying from your inbox too. But the fact is that in many cases you don't physically need to be in the same location with an actual ink pen to actually, make these documents legal.
That's right. The only thing that you have to really do wet signatures on now is at the title company, and the banks just haven't agreed yet to go completely digital, but most everything else can be. If you're buying a foreclosure, sometimes it has to be wet signatures. A HUD home has to be wet signatures. But other than that, if you're just buying a resale home, and sometimes builders want wet signatures, but most of the resale homes you can just do digital ink, which is really nice. And there's some other programs out there too that different realtors use, but the technology is there, and that just makes it so helpful. Other technology that realtors are using are things like apps to be able to come up with your mortgage price right away. So, like, I know for me, when I'm with a buyer in a house and they go, well, this house is $10,000 more than the other one we looked at. How is that going to change my payment? Well, I can just punch that in and come up with their new payment amount.
I can't even imagine how you did it in the old days. I know you went to realtor school, real estate school. You know how to figure that probably in your head, but I have no clue. So the fact is now, I could download one of, there must be hundreds of these things. If you go to iTunes, you could download them for free. If you go to Google Play, you could download them on your Android phone. But that actually makes things so much easier. And I have to assume from your side, from realtor side, it's going to give you less headaches. And so your clients already said, okay, I kind of figured out generally what my mortgage payment is going to be. I don't need to bother you to go ahead and figure it out.
Well, and even for sellers, they want to know what are their title company fees going to be, and we can already know they're going to close. For example, at Alamo Title, they know they're going to close there. Well, we have Alamo Title's app, so we know exactly what the fees are going to be, and then you can do it on your iPhone app and actually send it to the client so the client can print it if they want to or save it on their laptop. It's just amazing what we can do now.
I love that print-to-web technology. Sometimes, I've ever, years and years ago, I remember they had, and they still do, they make the small printers that you can hook up inside your trunk of your car. And I know realtors and sales folks who are always driving. Nowadays, you could download something.
You don't even need that.
Yeah, between a Kinko's app or whatever it is, all you need to do is that you can sit there and you have any document, a picture or something like that, and you can wirelessly send it anywhere. I have an HP printer at home, and I can be anywhere in the world, hit a button, and it'll spit out something at home too. And so print to web, it's a very, very neat piece of technology. Very useful too.
Yeah, the QR web code, the QR codes that are being used now are great. I know at Register Real Estate Advisors, we use them on our signs where we actually put the QR code on the sign, so when a consumer drives up to a house, they can scan the sign, the QR code on the sign, and see the video of the entire inside of the house.
Love the QR codes. The only thing about QR codes is I still think right now, as we sit here in 2013, that I think the majority of the general public really aren't sure what that is. It's a square, it's a little square, black and white box with squiggly lines, and I try to tell people that this is a friendly, useful thing. Mm-hmm. It's akin to the UPC code that you see on every single product on the grocery store. When you scan that at a grocery store, it knows exactly what product it is and what the price it is. Anybody can generate this QR code. QR stands for quick response. And I know you, Shannon, you specifically use it very well, because what you do is you have an app. It's a free app, and I highly recommend this. Is probably one of the top 3 or 4 apps that everybody download. Get a QR code reader. Just search for QR code reader, and then what it does is uses your camera's phone. You go up to, just say, your real estate sign, and you kind of focus up that, that 1 inch by 1 inch little black and white squiggly thing. Take a picture of it. What it does, it automatically goes to a web page in your case where you can find every single piece of information about that house. And you could do that immediately. You don't need to go back, log on to har.com. You could see it. And so the fact is that you are, seriously, what you guys are doing, probably 2 steps ahead of the curve, is just make sure consumers, they know, hey, what is this box? How do you read it? So download that QR code reader.
Absolutely. I got tired of having those flyers. They get wet by the sprinklers. They're nasty. They're all over the ground. It's just a mess. So
and you're saving paper.
That's right. Going green. All right. So tell us about some of those great apps that are out there for consumers to use.
Well, let's see. Let's talk about once you move into a house. You're going to need to paint the house. There's a neat app called Color Snap. It helps you pick out the paint colors in a room. There are ways to measure rooms in a house. One of the first apps I remember ever, Apple iTunes coming out on that iPhone, there was a leveler, so you can making sure when you hang pictures, that everything is level. There's a compass. Don't laugh about these compass. Most of these maps come in with the built-in compass. You may want to know when you're looking at a house, stand outside outside. You may want to know which way is north, or more importantly, which way is west and which way is east. So, is the sun going to come into this room when I wake up, or what have you? There are apps that will find schools. Schools, obviously, as a parent, very important where I move into.
Yes.
There's a great schools app, so you can see the, kind of the test scores, which school, which high school is this, is this house in? Is this the right school district, or maybe I should move, 4 or 5 miles away to get into another district? Sex offender search app,
That's
obviously
a big
very
one.
important when you move into. And, I have to throw in this. I got to throw in iHeartRadio. Got to love that app so you can listen to my show and your show everywhere you go.
That's right. And your show is Monday through Friday, 12 to 2, and also on Saturdays, 11 to 2. as well.
Saturdays, 11 to 2. That's where we really do the fun technology stuff where, you know what, if I'm going to steal some of these apps, we talked about it, now, and I'm going to use it on my show next Saturday.
I always, one of the ones that a lot of people I know use is the Around Me, because you can be in a neighborhood and go to that Around Me and find out what all the restaurants are right around there. Everybody wants to know where the grocery store is, where the gas station is, where they're going to be taking care of their immediate needs. I like that one. That's a good one.
Very helpful also, especially if you move into a neighborhood that's really, it's relatively new. You got a new home. Nothing is really, really built out. Okay, now, I'm standing in my front yard right now. Okay, now, how far exactly is the closest grocery store? How far is the nearest gas station? And it's nice using over year after year after year because you see things more pop up. But again, utilizes the GPS where you are with the database, and it just makes it so convenient. Where was this when I bought my first house 20 years ago?
I know. We're making it so easy on consumers. So easy. We make it so easy for them. They feel like we're not doing anything. I've told my agents, you have to email your clients step by step what you're doing behind the scenes. Otherwise, they think you're not doing anything because we make it so easy.
Yeah, well, the fact is, listen, it's you can't really close that real estate transaction without an expertise like you with that real estate license. But I know from your standpoint, because you've been in this industry a long time, you have seen technology really, really progress. And actually, your industry has wrapped its arms around that, from that, the website that, from the Zillows, the Realtor.com, the HAR.com, even your own website, too. You utilize that technology. So I know your clients think you're doing nothing, but listen, she's doing a lot, folks. You can't do it without Shannon.
It's a lot of fun. I love real estate, and I know you love technology. So when you combine them both together, you can really do a lot for clients, and that's what I love about it, and that's why I wanted to have you on the show. So definitely appreciate the information. Some great tips for our buyers out there when they're looking at houses. So that's great information.
Well, good. Listen, I always enjoy listening to your show on Sundays. I always enjoy having you on my Friday show to talk about some of the other things. Let's just you blow off the whole real estate industry. I'll blow off the whole technology. Let's just co-host our own. We'll be a media conglomerate, you and I. You're doing it very well.
All right. Hey, you have a good Sunday afternoon, and I'm going to talk to you soon. We have been talking with Michael Garfield today. He is the high-tech Texan. Whenever you have a technology need, you can always call into his show over on the 950. And here at Houston Real Estate Radio, we put all of our videos on our website. So you can find us online. If you missed any of today's show, you can find out more information at HoustonRealEstateRadio.com. And if you've got a question, you can always call me, 281-882-8088. And we'll be happy to answer your questions right here on the air every Sunday, 1 o'clock. That's 281-882-8088. And we'll see you next Sunday, 1 o'clock. Have a great weekend.